of other types, but the African has more ranges than any other people.
Like ancient Kemet, a good bit of the Dogon star and calendar system centers around Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the heavens. This is a great time at this time of year to see it, because it's really most brilliant in the winter sky. All you do is you look in the southern heavens right about now, look for Orion, and look for the three belts of Orion and follow it right down, and there Sirius is. Outside the solar system, the brightest of the heavenly bodies. And the source of the calendar, ancient calendar of Kemet and the Dogon. The Dogon have 4 calendars also. One of them is based on Sirius. But what is more interesting from the point of view of Dogon is that they have a system around this body right there. These are artifacts. These are not, but this is actually a star. That star is called, by modern scientists, Sirius B. The Dogon call it Potolo, the seed star or the star of deep beginnings. Well, what about Potolo, called Sirius B? The Dogon have apparently known about it for 700 years. It was not discovered in the West until 1862. The reason why it was so difficult to see is because it is a white dwarf star. The Dogon call it a white. What is a white dwarf? A star, when our sun, or a star the size of the sun, comes to the end of its life and exhausts its fuel, it will first expand into a red giant, and the sun will gobble up the entire solar system as far as Mars. But then it will become so big that it will have to collapse down. And it will collapse down in a mighty explosion to a white dwarf. So the sun will become the size of maybe the moon. So all that mass is concentrated in a small body. The weight of a single teaspoon of a white dwarf like Sirius B is about 100 tons, because it is so small, dense, and heavy. The Dogon describe all of this. They describe Sirius B as being a white seed, is what they call it. It's very small, very dense, and very heavy. The Dogon say that it is composed of a metal not found on Earth they call Sagala, and it has been determined through spectrographic analysis that is exactly what it is composed of, a degenerate metal. They even describe, you see, when a red giant explodes to contract down a white dwarf, that is a nova explosion. It lights up the sky. The Dogon described that. The connections between white dwarfs and supernovas weren't even known until 1914. The Dogon even describe matter being made up of incredibly small spinning particles, i.e. atoms. They describe all of the constellations of being composed of countless of stars spinning in space as galaxies. They describe the 4 moons of Jupiter, and these people, to all intents and purposes, don't have even a system of writing that we know about. At least not one that anyone has ever discovered. They have, therefore, a knowledge of the cosmos and of the heavens and astronomy that rivals modern knowledge.